All right. Test, test,
Test.
test, test.
Welcome back to Convincing Idiots, ladies and gentlemen. We have segment 3 of episode, what is this, 153?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Brian, this is your topic, your main event. Why don't you go ahead and explain exactly what we're doing here on this third segment?
Yeah, I saw some memes out there recently where it was like Andrew Garfield talking about, Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 3, and there's different rumors out there that they're going to pick up Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in their own universes and make more Spider-Man movies. Who knows if that's true or not? Somebody knows, but we don't. So it just kind of got me thinking on that topic.
Because we're idiots.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, literally. So are there superhero movie sequels, Dean, that you would like to see or have seen? Now, these could be...
Now,
go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to make sure, because I was doing my list here. Now, this is alive or dead? I mean, are we reanimating the corpse of Christopher Reeves here, or...
Yeah, just what would you have liked to have seen? If you were able to have any... again, just you can name a few, as many as you wish.
All right.
That you would have liked to have been able to see, but something happened. Whether they stopped the original storyline, an actor moved away from the role, someone passed away, whatever. So it could be a continuation of the original movie timeline, or it could be they bring back the franchise with actors. They're maybe a little older today, perhaps, and they kind of pick things back up where the original storyline ended, and that's a sequel in that way as well. So wide open, right? Mm-hmm. So that's it. So on that note, do you have any that come to mind as far as sequels that you would have liked to have seen? Yes, maybe just do one at a time or something. However you want to do it.
Yeah, we'll do one at a time. I'm going to start. We can both cross this off our list and talk about it, because Michael Keaton as Batman is probably up there with you two, right?
That's on my list. Yes.
So they gave us a tease with this Flash movie, and it was good to see him. He looked cool. He still had that edge to him, that Batman edge. So I would love to see a Michael Keaton Batman as he is today.
I agree. And certainly they could even put it in the timeline where, if you want, in the Flash movie, he didn't make it, but there's still a whole storyline where he got up to that point where he cleaned up the city, as he talked about in the Flash. And there's a whole storyline there. You could have some of the original villains from back then. You could maybe show...
And who's to say you can't say that because whatever Barry did at the end, when you saw everything and everybody, who's to say that didn't change that timeline and fix that to where he didn't die?
Well, that's true too. I mean, we could see Billy D. Williams as Two-Face, where they were maybe going to take him in that direction. Why not? Like, he's been Two-Face for several years or something like that. Jack Nicholson is still around as the older Joker. I like that a lot. That whole storyline is really intriguing. So, but maybe they'll see it. You never know. Maybe they'll. Who knows? Okay.
What about you? Where are you at?
I would have liked to have seen also in the Batman storyline. Now, I know you're not a fan of the Christian Bale Batman portrayal, but the Christopher Nolan trilogy I thought was pretty good. But the ending was not really the best, in my opinion. I mean, it is a nice ending in the sense of he does, he goes away with Catwoman and this and that, and then at the end of the movie, you may recall that they set up Robin with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's on the mantle of Robin. There's something there. I would have liked to have seen a fourth movie where Batman returns to Gotham to mentor Robin, And you could set that up very nicely. I think Christian Bale and Joseph Gordon-Levitt played well off each other a little bit in the time they had together in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you can sort of set that up to where now you have a future like Brave and the Bold type of thing where that's how the storyline ends. Batman is back in Gotham. Batman and Robin are there. Robin's going to take up the mantle in the future, but they're out there fighting crime. That's how things kind of fade out with that fourth movie. And then if you choose, you could end it there. I think wrap it up a lot more nicely. Or certainly they had an opportunity to, of course they did anyways, to make movies with Robin or Nightwing with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So give me that fourth Nolan movie at that time.
All right. I'm going to go. I mentioned him earlier. I would love to have seen. And in this scenario, Christopher Reeves is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't gotten the accident, where you could see what his acting chops would be as an older Superman.
Mm-hmm.
You could get away from the campiness of the 80s movies and put him in more of a realistic Superman, an older Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be very cool. I think he would have thrived in it. It would be cool to see. And he could have easily pulled it off. So, yeah, Christopher Reeves, as of today, reprising Superman.
I like that. I'm even thinking, what about even a sequel? We have the Kingdom Come graphic novel.
Mm-hmm.
That's like an Elseworlds story of like an older, grizzled Superman and Batman.
Yep.
It's an alternate timeline, but the superheroes in that timeline have been banned, and a lot of people have powers, and they're running amok. And it takes the original Justice League to come back out of retirement as older people to kind of get things in order. I think that would have been an interesting storyline to see Christopher Reeve come back as that grizzled Superman. Yep. You could have had Keaton come back as that grizzled Batman.
Perfect.
And that as well. That'd be wonderful.
Absolutely.
Well.
What could have been?
Yeah. It's a shame. Not Christopher Reeve's fault.
No.
All those movies just got more and more ridiculous, and it would have been nice to have him go out with a better story,
80s.
To your point. Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to give you one. I'll stay with Superman for a minute. I'd like to see another Henry Cavill Superman movie. I thought the first two were
Let me check this one off my list then.
Yeah,
that was
I loved him. I loved him in that role.
Me too.
He just looked the part. He acted the part well. He just had terrible, a subpar at the very least writing. I think in those movies, a lot of crazy things. He did not deserve to have to sort of get blown out of that franchise as he did. Would have liked to had a good, solid Superman 3 movie with Henry Cavill. Then, okay, reboot the movies. The first, again, they're okay. They're not like they're unwatchable, really, because of his performance is really, key there. But I don't know. Give me that third Cavill Superman.
I think part of the problem with those ones is that they tried to start it from the beginning, so to speak. What they're about to do with this new Superman movie is they're getting away from this, talking about him coming down, and it's going to be in the middle of, like, he's already been Superman for years.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where Henry Cavill should have been put, is him already been Superman for years. Mm-hmm. That he's a little grizzled, he's a little worn, but he's still Superman at heart. Superman is not meant to be dark. If you read the comics, he is the aw shucks. That's why Christopher Reeves was so perfect in it, because he had that aw shucks. Now, again, that writing was a little sketchy at times with the dialogue and Margot Kidder. But I think the idea of there's got to be a middle ground between Christopher Reeves and Henry Cavill, where it's not. it's not the all shucks totally, but it's also not the brooding, screaming because you killed somebody thing. You know what I mean? There's got to be somewhere in the middle. And I think Henry Cavill could have played that. He still can. I still think there's different from what the Flash did. I think there's opportunity to do many different versions of all these characters.
I agree. You know, why not? Actually, same idea.
Yep.
How about you have the Kingdom Come idea, something
Henry
like
Cavill
that.
being that.
Henry Cavill, I said Cavill, excuse me, Ben Affleck as Batman.
Actually, other than you and me, I don't know if I've heard many people actually pronounce it. I just read it a lot, so that's just my interpretation of how it's pronounced.
Okay. Well, if we're mispronouncing, we apologize.
One of us is right.
Well, that's right. Bring back Gal Gadot as one, so that they could come back in that alternate universe. To your point,
give it 5 years where they are a little more grizzled, a little older.
I like the idea a lot. It doesn't have to be the Kingdom Come necessarily, but there's plenty of storylines in an alternate universe. Yeah, because DC already has the different Earths. They have the infinite Earths, Earth 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah, and there's different versions of superheroes.
And the Flash showed it.
Yes, that's right.
So you easily could do that. And again, you don't have to be dark with him. He could still be old and grizzled and still be a wholesome guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think and I know I could go down in a rabbit hole, and I feel like I'm going to, but I think that you could easily get. Well, what the problem was, one of the problems with the Superman in the story that we just saw is what they did to his dad. Like the how they killed his dad off, and like, I don't know, it was a bad start. It was.
Oh, you mean Mr. You think? Clark, Mr. Clark or Mr. Kent? Excuse me, Mr. Kent. Excuse me. Yeah. That was weird.
It was weird. Like it brought a bad taste. It was a bad start to everything. So
yeah,
and that's where the brooding started. And then he was a drifter, and no, that's not how it goes. So, but yeah, I agree with you, Henry Cavill. You could easily do that. Not even reboot. You just continue the story from that universe.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. They've been in that alternate universe forever, and that's just what it is.
Because
to whatever, it's infinite.
Not a lot of people. If you don't understand this, people, Superman's not real, so he's not in this universe. There could be any amount of universes.
That's right.
Because the one in real life, he doesn't exist, people.
That's right.
These are stories. Let's make them stories.
That's right. Absolutely. Good. How about I would like to have seen, we had a very quick moment in the Avengers movie where Captain America, Chris Evans, goes back in time to replace all the Infinity Stones.
Right.
And then he pops back up and he's an old man. And then, of course, at the end, he goes back in time and so forth. There's a whole movie, something there in itself. Seeing Chris Evans go back as Captain America again. Yeah, what all happened?
Do you think he just stayed out of it? No, he was Captain America in the shadows.
Right.
Ooh, that's not a bad concept. Captain America in the shadows, being kind of like a Batman type crime fighter. And then you find out that some of the stuff that like the Avengers like did, maybe you find out that the version of Captain America was kind of behind the scenes, couldn't reveal himself, so like he was doing shit and fighting the secret wars the whole time. I like that.
There's something there.
Yeah.
Something there. I'm not saying I dislike Anthony Mackie's, that it's going to be good. I mean, I like him. And
well, you don't have to ruin the storyline at all.
You don't. Nope, do not. The Falcon takes on the mantle for a while. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Right? But, yeah, give me more Chris Evans as Captain America.
Yep.
Any other ones, Dean?
All right. Yeah, I have a few here.
Go ahead.
I want to see the actors. Chip Zine and Ed Gale. Chip Zien did the voice, and Ed Gale was the body of Howard the Duck. I just enjoyed the performance so much that I would like to see a continuation of it.
Now they have teased the character. He has made appearances in various Marvel movies.
I don't want CGI. I want Ed Gale in the suit with Chip Zien as the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Leah Thompson, what's she doing? She can come back.
Yeah, she's still around. Looks great. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's see a sequel of the original Howard the Duck.
No more duck sex, though, please. Don't. We've seen enough of that.
First of all, mind your own business. You can keep your opinions to yourself. Not everything has to be said. Maybe some of us like the duck sex scene. Maybe it made our childhood wieners do stuff. You don't know, So I say more duck sex, the better.
You need to look this up, and I have some of the books as well. Dean, we could look up, as I'm sure it's out there in graphic novel form as well. But a very interesting Howard the Duck storyline. Okay, now they've made different Marvel Zombies stories. Okay, I love the Marvel Zombies. If they've teased it some with the What If series. There's actually going to be a series of Marvel Zombies coming out, an animated series coming out on Disney Plus that's in development, is my understanding, right? But it's an alternate storyline. Sure. Marvel heroes become zombies. It goes crazy. It's really fascinating. Then they have still some of the internal struggles of they know that they're doing wrong and they're trying to fight the hunger, blah, 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 blah. But they've had different storylines of the Marvel Zombies in different timelines and other things. There was a storyline, Dean, where I don't know if you know the character Machine Man.
I do not. I'm not familiar.
That's okay. He was not unlike sort of a RoboCop type character, sort of in the Marvel universe, right? So he was an android man type of thing. But
really got creative on that name.
Yeah. But it was Machine Man and Howard the Duck led some type of fighting force effort in whatever galaxy timeline this was to go hunt zombies in the superhero type zombies. So it was one of the rare prominent Howard the Duck storylines in the comics that I've seen in some time. I bought that years ago. So that is out there. That could be an idea for a movie right there. Take Howard the Duck and put him in an interesting storyline.
Yep.
Right?
As long as he's fucking Leah Thompson, I'm in.
Well, and he's kicking ass and everything else, So I don't know. Okay. I can buy into it.
All right.
Salvage the craziness of the first movie a little bit for me. Sure. I like that. Well, I already mentioned at the beginning of the segment here about us, saying both at the same time. I'd like to see, and I'm wearing the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man shirt here. Give me another Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man movie in that universe, fighting those villains, and give me another Tobey Maguire in that universe. And there's rumors that they're making these, that they're in development in his universe as the older Spider-Man growing up.
Yep, I like that.
And you could do a lot with that character as well. You could certainly have, maybe he married Mary Jane. In the comics, there's a storyline where they've had a daughter that has spider powers, the Spider Girl. You could introduce Spider-Girl, perhaps, in that particular universe if you want to.
And why can't you occasionally have them be able to talk to each other somehow, some way?
Why not?
The Madam Web and the way the spider across the Spider-Verse they're all connected some way. Have a way where, almost like a vacation home for Spider-Man.
I like that a lot. I mean, they know each other exists now. They've introduced that concept fully, so I like that a lot. Then you can still team them up again in other universes as well.
Those two dynamic of their chemistry was fantastic.
So good.
Actually, I would be okay with even taking. Again, I want this to happen, but I also don't even need Spider-Man. I'd like to see those two in like a kind of a dry comedy together.
Sure.
Like those two actors really played well off each other.
Yeah, they definitely did. They definitely did. Yeah, so more Tobey Maguire and more Andrew Garfield. Again, the rumor is that Sam Raimi is going to come back and do Spider-Man 4 with I don't know. We'll see what happens. Would love to see
Speaking of, let me give
Go
you
ahead.
my next pick. Sam Raimi's 1990 Liam Neeson-led Darkman.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, Liam Neeson as Darkman. Sam Raimi at his finest.
I didn't realize that was Sam Raimi.
Yep, Bruce Campbell was in it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think Liam Neeson is such a badass that I thought that could have been a franchise situation. Probably tanked enough in the box office, or maybe in the 80s they weren't so trigger happy with sequels. You know what I mean? Oh, it made this much money. We have to go into it. They're like, okay, no, it did great for us. Moving on. But as a kid, I remember it being a little scary, a little badass. You see what Liam Neeson does. Obviously, Sam Raimi is fantastic. I think you could bring Darkman back today, and you could. He's not part of the DC or MCU, but he could be. I don't know how you do that, but it was a badass character. I go Darkman.
You don't need to blend everybody either. You're right. You could have a separate storyline where they're in their own universe and timeline, and they're just doing their thing. You don't have to bring in all the heroes to blend necessarily. Gosh, I haven't seen that movie in so long. But yeah, you're right. In that era, they had some of those weird offshoot ones. They had Darkman. They had the Shadow. You might recall.
The Shadow was actually originally an audio production back in the 30s.
Yeah, the Shadow Knows.
The Shadow Knows.
Yeah. You had the Phantom, which was like a comic strip guy. Man. You know what? Actually, talking about that, maybe the movie's just better in my head. I haven't watched it in so long, so maybe it doesn't hold up as well. But I remember in that era liking The Rocketeer. That was like a comic.
Yes.
I would like to see another Rocketeer movie. I had
heard a rumor a couple years ago that was in development of doing another one, because Disney has the ride or some shit like that at their parks. So it's part of their whole deal. And I'd heard that there was a couple of different people attached. Could have sizzled out by now, but there was at one point talks of rebooting The Rocketeer.
I like that idea. You could continue in that era.
Yep.
You got to recast the actor if you want to, maybe. I don't know. But or maybe the original actor is now the mentor or something. I don't remember who played the Rocketeer.
I don't either. Let's find out.
I want to say it was Timothy Dalton was in that movie, I think, the James Bond at the time.
I think he was the bad guy, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right.
Rocketeer 1991, so a year after
91. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Billy Campbell was the Rocketeer. Jennifer Connelly.
Right, Billy Campbell. Yep.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton was the bad
Alan
guy.
Arkin.
Yeah. Man. It's a good cast.
Wow. I kind of want to watch that again.
Yeah.
See if it holds up.
91. Holy crap. Whoosh. Man. Terry O'Quinn. So yeah, some good actors in that. Paul Sorvino.
So are we going to have some sort of fire in your backyard and do a do one last watch of like horror movies in October?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'll coordinate it. I'll get that screen, and we could shift things around and set it up differently so we can have a fire and enjoy that. And shoot but absolutely, yes.
That'd be fun.
Movie night, yeah, for sure, no question about it. Exorcist, some of the scary ones. I love the idea. Definitely do that. And it'll get darker earlier. We can start earlier. All that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Which one where Jason beats the girls up with the suit in the sleeping bag? Can we watch that one?
Yes, that is one of the greatest bad horror movies of all time. That is Jason X. That's the one that goes in outer space as well.
Yeah.
Yes, Jason in space.
Oh my god, it's my favorite.
Yes, I love it. It's so bad.
That's the lead off.
It's good.
Or the main event, however you want to put it.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I just so crazy over the top, ridiculous. I love it. Yeah. Okay. I said The Rocketeer. Do you have any other ones?
I have one more, and again, I'm going not. It's not a comic book per se. It's not DC or MCU. Dolph Lundgren portraying He-Man was so awesome when I was a kid. I'm sure it doesn't hold up, but Dolph Lundgren was He-Man. Like, he looked the part.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Again, I don't... Would it be neat to see an older He-Man? You know what I mean? Like, I don't need him in this universe like they did in the movie where, like, he comes to Earth and the portal type shit. Put him in his own universe. Let's see that. But let's see an older He-Man. I don't know.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I think.
Because he still looks good.
Oh, yeah. He's in great shape. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but that's the concept of an older He-Man. He's ruling his kingdom for a while. Maybe Skeletor
Everything's
is
peaceful.
out of the picture.
He's got a
Skeletor,
beard like Anthony Hopkins as Thor's dad, Odin. Yep.
That's interesting. And then Skeletor or somebody comes back out of nowhere and disrupts things again. He has to, get the sword out again, and
right.
This is an interesting concept.
He's a little rusty. Like, he has to, like, even though, like, he can transform a type deal, he still has to, like, remember how to be He-Man.
Yeah. I like that.
There's something there. I can do that.
Yeah. And you got like a fucking shingle shot the night before Skeletor comes.
Right.
You got to battle with that.
He loses his voice sometimes in the middle of sentences.
That's right. Kind of under the weather a little bit. I have the... Oh, God.
Oh, boy. That's sore. Well, if Dolph Lundgren is busy, we might come to you, Brian. I hope you're ready for the role.
Sure. I'll start stretching more.
Good.
Absolutely. Yep. I'll keep up with the vaccinations, get all that out of the way, and I'll just be ready.
Instead of He-Man, it's He-Man.
That's good. I like it.
Yep.
I like it. Yep.
I'm looking forward to all these movies.
Yeah, it is an interesting concept. I think that's what I had, Dean. We had some overlaps. I had the Keaton Batman. We talked about Henry Cavill. Yeah, so that's the main ones that anything else? You know what? I know one Nick would have said, I'm sure. So in honor of Nick, I'm going to say it. I'm sure it was going to be on his list. I'm sure Nick would like to see another Spawn movie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jingle All the Way.
Well, that, of course. You know. But I don't remember if there's any in development or not, but I know Nick really loved that Spawn
I heard there
movie
was.
Based on the Todd McFarlane character, which is kind of an interesting and cool, very weird 90s movie. But Nick grew up with that movie. But so in honor of Nick, we'll say Spawn. Give us another Spawn movie. Why not? Yeah.
One more character. And Jingle All the Way.
That's right.
One more character that would... Excuse me. Got the burps. One character that I would love to see come back again is Aaron Blake, because he does so well in insurance. That's right. Boys and girls, Aaron Blake. What can I say about this superhero? Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today. And when you do, you just be at awe that you're speaking to a real life superhero. That's right. Very good. And you know what? I just thought of one more Nick would like to recognize as well. I'm sure also made his list, but I don't know if the name rings a bell. Ronald Patrick Monahan. Do you remember that guy, that alias? It's not ringing any bells. He was known as Electric Man. I don't know if you remember the Electric Man or not. Electric Man. Yeah. Now I'm going to need a little more. Okay. Well, I would like to see him come back and make another movie based on his power was he was able to charge up devices that normally did not have electric power, and what he specialized in was charging up and turning normal bicycles, Dean, into electric bicycles. Ooh, that I'm gonna have to look this guy up. So the initials RPM. You can look him up out there. Sure. So you can look up RPM, named after him. Wow. Actually. Okay.
RPM Bike Shop in beautiful Carrollton, Ohio. You can find them on Facebook at RPM Bike Shop. Give them a call also at 330-808-7792. And say you're looking for RPM, the Reginald, I forgot the name already, but that's okay. Just use the initials RPM, and they'll hook you up in honor of him, the Electric Man, in honor of a potential.
You shouldn't know his
sequel.
name, actually. It's his alias.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Exactly. And since we have no other creative way to do it that I can think of right now, I'm also going to mention our third sponsor, Golden Heart Tattoo in Norton.
Those two boys, now those are heroes.
That's right. Exactly.
They're doing the Lord's work right there.
They sure are. You can find them if you're in the Northeast Ohio area in Norton, Ohio. Find them on Facebook at Golden Heart Norton, Norton. GoldenHeartTattoos.com online, or give them a call at 234-706-2982. Get yourself an appointment. Maybe get yourself a tattoo of a superhero coming back and making a sequel. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe get yourself a Howard the Duck tattoo. I don't know.
That's what I'm going to write on my butt cheek.
Yeah, that's a fine idea.
Scott, I'm coming.
That's right. Dean, we have done it.
Phew, boy, have we.
We have persevered without young Nick.
It was rough.
It was very rough.
We struggled at times, but I think we did it.
That's right. We struggled with content. We struggled with voices.
Mm-hmm.
We struggled with shingle shots.
That was a rough one.
That's right. Several other things. But here we are at the end of yet another episode. So find us out there. Again, wherever you listen to podcasts, we can find on all major podcast platforms. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc. Give us a share, subscribe, follow, rate, review, all that good stuff.
Tell your grandma.
Tell your grandma. Find our videos out there. Get on our YouTube channel at Convincing Idiots, or on the Boss Code Media TV network. All social media can be found in two main places: our Linktree page, Linktree Convincing Idiots, and again our website, Convincing Idiots, at WordPress.com. No, sorry, I said at Convincing Idiots. See, messing up already. Yep. .wordpress.com. Excuse me, Nick.
It's hard being Nick.
It is. It's very hard. So, have we convinced you to come back with your own sequel and check us out again next week? That made no sense at all.
Nah, fuck it. It works.
Hi, this is Millennial Nick, along with Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean. Hey, if you liked that video, which we really hope you did, you should like and subscribe. That would be great.